What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki, back at it with another crime talk, and we're going to be talking about, obviously, which has been on my mind a lot, about the 111-minute phone call between Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger. I'm like I wouldn't say obsessed, but so determined to find out what exactly that 111-minute phone call was about that led up to the demise and unfortunate events that happened to Shanann, the girls, and baby Nico. There's apparently evidence that shows what's on this 100-minute phone call, which I'm kind of weary about. Somebody mentioned it and sent it to me on my Facebook and said, you need to watch this, which is the Chris Watts and Mistress infamous 100 phone call hours before the murders. Apparently they've retracted and found information regarding this phone call, which I definitely want to look into. And then somebody finally found, which I was looking myself, more information about the ex-Anadarko employee that talks about working with Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger's and her involvement in the story. Now, I've seen discrepancies between up in the air that this girl might have not worked with them or worked with them, but we're going to take a look at it anyways to see if anything does fit together cohesively to make more of an evidence or build up evidence about this case. Now, again, disclaimer for me and for you guys that my opinions, my theories, my whatever have you does not reflect and change anything when it comes to this case. I want to put that very clear, that I would like this as well to be positive with no discrepancies and no disrespect in the comments to myself or anybody in the comments. We are here just to find out the truth and justice for the girls and baby Nico, and I still don't feel that there is 100% justice because I do believe wholeheartedly that Nicole Kessinger was involved in some shape or form. Now, with that being said, hopefully, like we've seen other cases being reopened and so forth like that, with new technology and advancements in the future, who knows what we could find out and bring. I still think we need to hook up Chris and hook up Nicole to lie detectors and ask the questions that everybody, myself, and thousands of people are asking on this website or on the internet about the Watts murders. Was Nicole involved? What did she kill the girls besides Shanann? I mean, there's thousands of questions that we could ask, and we need to ask them. So before we go any further, if you guys could do me a solid favor, in which you guys are doing fantastic and amazing, and I'm so grateful for all you guys, make sure you guys subscribe by hitting that white bird icon down at the bottom right. Hit the bell icon next to it so I do post videos like this one, or for all the videos that I post on here, you guys will be first to be notified. Watch, comment, like, and share. And again, thank you so very much for the support. And again, I'm not taking any credit for the information that's being brought to me. I want to make that very clear because people think I'm stealing your content or their content or other people's content, which I am not. I'm giving all the credit towards the content creators themselves, which these videos come from Amanda Vita and Watts the Obsessed. I'm just putting my partake on what I'm seeing, what I am reacting to. Again, I'm partially a reaction channel, so take that in consideration when watching it. But with that being said, let's get into it. So the first part we're going to take a look at is the ex-Anadarko employee, talking about more into this. We've seen it like a snippet from TikTok, but apparently this is the whole involvement story. Let's take a look. So recently, a TikToker went viral for telling her story after working at Anadarko after Chris Watts murdered his family. Her accounts weren't well embraced on Reddit. During the investigation, not many people have spoken out, which people have been, being mistresses and misters and whatever have you. People have not been kind to her, which is very peculiar. With all the fake stories out there, it is hard to say if she is being truthful, but either way, everyone should be kind. Not everyone lies for not just listening. I believe her, but I have questions. Edit, she did not know the Watts family. So she didn't know the Watts family, but apparently she worked with them. So let's continue.
Fun fact about me is that I used to work for Anadarko, which is the same company that Chris Watts worked for. And no, I didn't know him personally, but I knew people who did, and I have like 2 or 3 stories. So
which I want to know.
Let me know if you want to hear those.
Yes.
But today, I just wanted to say that the friends, the family, and the neighbors have asked for people to stop going up to the house.
Yes.
And they have given every single last one of us true crime blue balls.
How hard did puberty?
Like I said before, I have a few stories about Chris Watts, so this will just be part 1. One of the biggest misconceptions of this case was a bold-faced lie that the media told, saying that nobody saw this coming.
We did.
I had worked there for 3 fucking days before someone had told me that his mistress used to go to his job site, pick him up so that he could leave his truck there, and then drop him off when he was supposed to get off of his shift so that he could drive home to Shanann and the girls. His mistress kept saying that she didn't know that he had a wife and kids. Stupid ass bitch. She's a fucking liar.
Excuse
and she
the
had
French.
something to do with it. I just fucking know it. So yeah, anyway, people saw her with him. Multiple times. When I was told this, I immediately asked, why didn't anyone tell Shanann? This person looked me dead in the eyes and told me that no one said anything because no one wanted to be a part of the drama. So when the news broke loose, everyone decided that they were going to save their own ass and say, oh, we didn't know. They all knew, so. Like I said before, I have a few stories about Chris. Didn't want to make this a video response, but I'm blocked from commenting for some reason, so yes. I will make another video, just not today because the Minecraft update just happened, and I really want to go play that. But I will post another video tomorrow morning, so if you guys have any questions, I can try to answer them, and just comment them below, and I'll do my best. Didn't want to make... No, I didn't delete the video. There were a few things that I really wanted to clear up. The video that has someone walking up to the house, that's not my video. So, stop coming for me because it's not me. I didn't know Shanann. I didn't know Chris. My stories are from my coworkers who did know them. So, stop asking me why I didn't tell Shanann because I literally couldn't have. One thing I will go further into depth with is the question, did he...
I mean, if you think about it, she could have said something to Shanann because she didn't work... she didn't know them personally, but to save somebody and kind of like, I wouldn't say start the rift or start the drama, she could have gone to the house and be like, hey, I know your husband's not home, but can I talk to you? I've heard some things that are going on. I mean, couldn't she have done that? Or is that wrong?
Talk about his family. The answer is no, not really. If they were brought up by somebody else, he would talk about his family, but he himself never really brought up his family at all. There was one specific instance that a coworker had told me about where her husband, who works on the ground, used to work with Chris, and he knew that Chris always had his family's pictures in his wallet because when they would go to lunch, he would pull out his wallet, he would see it, and then around the time he started seeing his mistress, they went away. But they conveniently got there just in time for the police to get there, so. Apparently her husband asked about it, and he had said that he had lost them and he wanted better, new, updated pictures, when the pictures were only like a year old, so. Dude knew what he was doing the whole time. But that's really all the time I have. I was only supposed to be gone 5 minutes to go get beer for my husband and I, and I've been gone 30 minutes. So let me know if you want to go more in depth with that story, because there's more detail, but yeah, there's that. I don't know how to fucking end TikTok. I'm 24. There were a few things that... Morning, everyone. I will be posting part 2 today. I'll be getting more into the story that I told earlier.
Which I want to hear.
I just wanted to clear up a few things about my first story before I continue on to the next, because there's a lot of you and I'm getting confused. A question that came up a lot was if certain people still worked there, and the answer is no, mainly because Anadarko was sold to another company called Oxy, and in 2019 they completed the transition into Oxy. So a lot of people left. No one really talked about the other co-workers that came out and did interviews. It seemed like they alienated them a little bit.
Oh, there's more?
I asked, but everyone was like, nah, I don't know what they're doing, so... Did Chris Watts come off as perfect to his co-workers, like the media made him come off to the American people when the story came out? Kind of. People really just thought that he was a quiet guy. Yep. They knew he was a little hot-headed. They knew he had financial issues, but they just thought he was a normal dude going through some normal life shit.
More than they were supposed to be.
But he definitely showed signs of being a family eliminator. I can never say that fucking word. Family eliminator. Thank you. The first time I heard that phrase was on last podcast on the left, and I haven't been able to say it since. And also, shout out to Henry Zabrowski. Please sell your weed in Colorado. Thanks. Did the news lie about how long Chris and Nicole were together?
Yes.
No, that is very true. They were not together.
Well, take that back. So they apparently were together for roughly 6-ish weeks. Apparently there's rumors for more at gyms and so forth like that. They just made it look like they were talking on email sooner than longer. But then we also know that Nicole was also looking at them both, Chris Watts and Shanann Watts, a year before, like prowling and hunting and investigating, which was creepy in itself. So
Together that long. Is Chris Watts gay? Probably.
Or wouldn't it be
Morning,
bisexual?
everyone. Well, it's the morning, and I promised part 2 in the morning, so here we go. I'm gonna go more into depth with the story about the wallet. I'm not gonna be sharing my coworker's name because I don't want to get in trouble. I still might. As I said before, my coworker's husband had seen pictures of the family in Chris's wallet before. He had asked about them before. Chris had shown him pictures before and had proudly showed him his daughters at one point, which is weird because it makes it almost seem like he loved the kids, which he obviously fucking didn't. And as I mentioned before, my coworker's husband had seen that the pictures were gone one day and had asked about them. Chris had said that he lost them, but it was okay because he wanted to get more updated pictures. My coworker, her husband, their family, they had all gotten their pictures done, so her husband was trying to give Chris a reference to a photographer. This part really stuck with me because it's kind of a foreshadow into what people were saying about Shanann later. Chris apparently had looked at the husband and said something along the lines of that he would pass the information on to Shanann because she was the brains of the operation, she controlled everything, he was just the asshole in the background taking orders. Apparently there was a couple of times after this conversation happened where the pictures would just randomly be back in his wallet again. He was asked about it, and he just said that he got new copies of the old photos because he just wanted his kids in his wallet. But that's it for the wallet story. My coworker's husband actually worked with Chris up until about a month before he got caught, and most of my stories come from her, so just be prepared for me to say my coworker's husband a lot, because I don't want to name them and I don't know what else to call them.
So she didn't work with them.
Jim. We're going to call
Is that
him
what I'm
Jim.
getting at?
And the wife will be called...
Or she worked and the other person worked.
We'll just call her Judith. So my coworker is going to be called Judith, and my coworker's husband is going to be called Jim. So everybody got that? Okay, good.
Judith and Jim.
And I'm just going to remind everybody, because I keep seeing the comment, and I know it's going to keep coming, Jim and Judith were not close with Chris. Jim just worked with Chris for like a month and a half, and there's a few stories and interactions with him just like with any other coworker. I didn't expect this to get that big. I hope they don't have my contact information anymore. I haven't worked there in a while. Well, I have one of my emails. I just won't check it. Well, it's the morning, and I promised part 2 in the morning, so some of you fucks are absolutely ridiculous. Like 2 people going hard on my page, trying to like pick apart everything, calling me a liar. Bro, people ask to hear these stories. I am just telling you them.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean that I believe them 100%.
Yeah.
Do I think that Jim really asked Chris about his pictures in his wallet?
We don't know.
No, I think he decided to spice it up a little bit after everything already happened. But it was what I was told, so that's why I was telling you. It's as simple as it gets. Might be a hot take, but reading Reddit while you're taking a shit doesn't make you a true crime expert. You're not a psychologist. Please calm the fuck down. The one that made me laugh the most was someone who said that apparently Anadarko had come out and claimed that I never worked for them. How and where? They don't exist anymore, and I have proof, so... Whoops.
Interesting.
To everyone else, the other 99.9% of people who have been commenting on my videos, thank you so fucking much for being adults on the comment section.
Exactly.
I enjoy the healthy debates. I enjoy the questions. It's been really fun to read through everything, especially the people who are picking apart the story, because it's making me realize things that I didn't think about before.
Exactly.
The last thing I have to say about the idiots on my page is that even if you're anonymous, it's still pretty easy to find out who you are. And I'm very resourceful. Keep victim blaming Shanann. I will make you cry.
I hate that.
So, let's talk about the quote-unquote mama's boys for a second. So, I'm not going to be doing Chris Watts stories anymore. Before you get mad at me and swipe and unfollow, I have good reasons. Just hear me out.
Okay.
I know that Chris likes the attention. I know that he likes to be talked about. I know he likes being a celebrity. And in me telling these stories, I'm adding fuel to his fire. And I don't think he deserves the satisfaction. And honestly, I really just don't feel safe doing it anymore. Some freak has always decided that they were going to take it upon themselves to check my credentials and delve into my personal life and then post it to Reddit. While I was lucky enough to not have my address or my phone number leaked, a bunch of traumatic events in my life were. The saddest part is that if you had just asked, I would have told you. I would have done story time. I'm not secretive about my past. I just want to have the power to speak about it for myself. I feel as though another choice was taken away from me, and because of that, I don't feel comfortable continuing. I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys respect this decision. There's more to me than just my Chris Watts stories. There's more to me than my past abuse, and I hope you guys stick around to see it.
Interesting.
So I'm not going to be doing Chris Watts stories. It's going to be really hard to victim blame and report my post from the blacklist.
So I do understand that. So I hate that people keep victim blaming Shanann because apparently she was a very dependent woman, like independent. Like she was driven. She took things upon herself. She tried to get things taken care of. Okay, she joked around with Chris, not doing this or not doing that. What relationship doesn't joke around here and there? Okay, my grandparents that were very much in love, they joked around. I remember here and there. My parents, they love each other. They joke around here and there, sometimes maybe too far. I do with my significant other. I love my fiance to death, but we joke around, okay? I've seen people joke around all the time with their loved ones and stuff like that. It's like, get off the victim blaming of Shanann when just because she sat there said because Chris apparently didn't have hard skin or he was just a mama's boy. I mean, get over it, okay? I'm tired of hearing that. Oh, apparently Shanann was a narcissist. The narcissist was Nicole. If you've watched her stuff, that's the narcissist, okay? The embarrassing thing too with Chris being the way he was, he didn't have any empathy for his family being gone. He joked around on how many different interviews and smiled and laughed while his daughters were sitting in oil and his wife was in the ground. Joking, please, somebody bring them home. And then you guys are sitting there blaming Shanann? Really? That's what pisses me off. Let's continue with the infamous 111-minute phone call hours before the murder. Hopefully there's more information about this. I know people are like stating that I'm just reiterating the same stuff we already know. But eventually, here and there, we get more content, more information, more content, more evidence to add to the fuel to hopefully one day bring open this case. Who knows? We don't know what the story will tell. People think that I have a direct contact in getting this taken care of. I don't. I'm just bringing more theories, more opinions, more videos to you guys people have stated that they didn't realize this channel, like my channel, and then the channel that I debuted, they didn't even know that channel existed until I brought it forward. Am I bringing credit to that? No. But it's cool that you guys can find other channels through me, and you guys can go watch their channels. I'm not just taking credit for everybody. I'm not taking credit for anybody, for that matter. So, lay off. With that being said, let's watch the Chris Watts and Mistress infamous 111-minute phone call hours before the murder. I thought this was Watts the Obsessed, which we're going to be watching eventually again. But this is the ATS news. Let's take a look. That's her younger days.
As far as texts and phone calls since Saturday, has anything been odd to you? Anything that he said or written that strikes you as being strange or not truthful?
No. Well, so I talked to him on Sunday night.
So I do apologize for interrupting. This is actually the interview that's actually at the park. Why did they have an interview at the park with an FBI agent and her father there? That's a little peculiar in itself. That's probably why you can't hear it as well. I'll hopefully turn up a little bit, so hopefully it doesn't hurt you guys' ears. But that's why you hear the wind and all so forth like that in the background. So we'll turn it up.
And he was fine on Sunday night. I didn't have any issues with him. And then Monday, I think we shot each other like a couple texts at work, but him and I get real busy, both of us do at work. So it was just kind of like, and it was like just mundane bullshit conversation, you know. In my head, what I needed to tell you.
Okay.
Why'd she turn the paper over?
Hi.
Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Nikki.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
He's
return to your house, and then he goes home, and then you talk to him for a few hours on Sunday.
Did I? Are you asking me or are you telling
I'm asking
me?
you.
Oh, I was like, I don't even know. Someday, honestly, so, wait a minute. That was Saturday. We're talking about Saturday. We're not talking about Sunday right now.
Okay, so you're still on Saturday.
Yes.
You guys have a phone conversation when he gets home?
That was the day that he got the babysitter and I went out to dinner, not Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I just want to make sure
That's
you
okay.
got your days right. So Saturday, yes, we went out. He had the babysitter. He went home. I'm sure we did. Oh, Jesus.
Take a minute. Do you want us to step out for a minute?
No, I just need to chill with my eyes closed.
So, like, narcissistic.
I still cannot believe this is happening.
Answer the question.
Alright, let's keep going, because we're just getting to, like, the meat of this whole
Let's get
situation.
to the phone call on Saturday from 9 to 11. What did you guys, or pardon me, on Sunday from 9 to 11?
Yeah, we talked a few times. So, Sunday, I think so. I need to think. I can't even think.
Take a couple breaths and take a second.
Sunday night. I don't even know. I don't think I was, like, concerned about anything at that point.
You guys had had a meal the night before. You knew his wife was probably coming home late that evening.
Oh, you know what? I still don't remember what we talked about. Honestly, we talk about so much random stuff. It's so hard to pinpoint some of these things. I don't remember what we talked about. I do remember that was a long phone conversation, though. We probably talked about all sorts of stuff. One thing I do remember, though, that I didn't remember earlier when I was talking to Mark. So this is, where I'm starting to remember, little bits and pieces.
Which she
I
never
don't
says.
remember. Yeah, I know. So the phone conversation, I don't remember what was in the phone conversation. Probably nothing of relevance, to be honest with you. But usually he talks to me when he's, down in the basement in his bed before he goes to bed and before I go to bed. And I could hear the TV on, which I thought was kind of weird. I didn't ask him. I just heard it in the background. And I remember thinking, and it was
Bring up
right
random
before
crap.
we got off the phone. I was like, why the hell is he up? And there's no TV downstairs. So I was like, well, maybe, I don't know.
No TV in the basement where he usually calls you from.
Yeah, and I don't know how many TVs they have. I've never been in their bedroom. I went
you
upstairs
have.
once, and it was to their little playroom, and I just
She later on says that she went into their bedroom and she saw photographs and stuff like that. So that she just contradicted herself.
looked at it, and I was like, that's super cute that your girls have books, and that was it. And other than that, I have never been in any of those rooms in that upstairs. To me, it was just you don't know. Ever. I had no, so I don't know if he has any other TVs. I'm assuming by how much other nice stuff they have in their house, it wouldn't surprise me. So I'm not quite sure what room he was in at that point. But I just remember hearing the TV, and I was like, it was just weird to me, because I was like, why are you watching TV right now? It is super late. And that
Who would
was the
say that?
only thing.
And he had phoned you? Or were you guys already talking when the TV was going? Or
So funny story too, and I know I keep cutting you guys out of this video, but you guys keep asking me not to talk over this video because you want to hear what I say and then you want to hear what they say, so that's why I'm stopping. But with that being said, Chris even stated that when he was doing this interview with whatever or news broadcast and the police officers and stuff like that, the day of after they called him from work, he was actually messaging Nicole and talking to her right here. And he was also talking to his mother and his father because they needed to come, or because his father was on the way from the plane to come here. So that's why he was on the phone as much as he is, because he's talking to Nicole and his dad. So
I just remember I picked up on it later, but I don't think it was throughout the whole conversation. Okay. I just remember it being towards the end, because I remember thinking wow, it's really late.
Hi.
this
No, you're
Go
okay.
back to the phone call, or where you noticed the television in the background of the phone call.
Yeah. So I didn't know what room he was in, but I was just I just thought it was weird, because he's always
talk about the room
before I go to bed and I lay down, he's always like kind of trying to do the same thing. We just talk. It's like a really chill thing till one of us is about to pass out, and then that's like the end of it. But it was strange because I was like, the TV's on. I remember I was thinking, I was like, maybe he's waiting up for her, and then I was like, maybe not.
Talk about the phone
It
call.
wasn't something that like alerted me. It was just different from his standard operating procedure. Because whether his wife is home or she's gone, he's always got kind of like the standard op when he calls me. So that's why it was
sticking
kind of,
around
like,
the question.
unique. Because it doesn't really fluctuate when she's there and when she's not there. He's pretty like free reign with what he does.
So, anything important that you recall during that conversation about the children, about his wife, about what he was doing the next day, what he had planned, anything like that? Did he tell you any of that information?
I remember he told me he had to go to the field and not to the office on Monday morning.
Okay. Did he specifically say where he needed to go on Monday morning?
No, I don't ask him for those sites. There's like, Anadarko's got like thousands of sites. If he were to tell me, I wouldn't even
They're
know.
just like random numbers and stuff, right?
Well, he told me, he said, I gotta go to a site. I gotta go check out like a valve or something where they think that they had a release. Something like that.
Did he mention the town or anywhere?
No. He just told me that that's what he had to go do. He's like, he's like, I won't see you in the office in the morning. Because I see him, but I don't actually like talk to him. Like, I will go in the cafeteria, I will put my lunch in the fridge, and him and his whole team are sitting in there, and I don't talk to any of them. I just walk out. As opposed to like
And the
6
plot
or 7.
Do you know what he did
thickens.
Sunday during the day?
I don't even know what I did on Sunday during the day. I am so tired. Let me just think about this. Daniel came over Friday. I hung out with him Saturday. And then Sunday...
She likes to manipulate these conversations.
Monday. Jim got here Monday. What did I do on Sunday? I am like drawing a blank. I'm really tired. I don't know. Can I get back to you on that?
Did you guys have any conversations on Saturday night during your
Never
meal?
gets back.
What he might be doing on
And you're telling me
Sunday?
there's people that think that she's
I'm sure we did.
innocent?
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank because I haven't slept.
If I say that he may have done something with his children, would that refresh
Yes.
your memory?
He went to a birthday party.
Okay. Did you know whose house he was going to?
Nope. But I know that they had a water balloon fight.
Okay. He had one, or his children?
His children did. He said he used to get really into it. He said he got like really interactive with his kids. He's like, some of the adults don't really spend a lot of time playing with the kids, but
We
I
went
always
to
do.
the museum on what day? Saturday
I
or
love
Sunday?
playing with my
Sunday.
kids.
Okay.
That's right. So that's what I was like, was I hanging out with you? God.
Very memorable event,
Yeah, and her dad being in there, I don't know why the hell he's in there.
huh?
Me and him and my stepmother and my sister
yeah.
went to the museum, and that's right, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, and they went to brunch prior to that, and I skipped brunch, and I went to the gym.
Still not talking about the phone call.
Shouldn't have. It was good.
I had to do core day. That was the last time I worked out, actually.
That's
so
what we did Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, so core day, and then we went to the museum, and then
When did he tell you about the water balloon fight on Sunday evening during your conversation on the phone?
I think so.
Okay.
They're trying to
you
get
don't
that
know whose
phone
house
call.
he went to on Sunday,
No.
but you knew it was for a child's birthday.
Yeah, and he had told me about that in advance early, so I don't know if it was Saturday that he had told me that he was going to go that birthday or like Friday. I just remember he was like, I got to go to this birthday party with my kids.
Any other conversation that makes sense?
I
See,
mean,
they're trying to
honestly,
grab-
at this point, I'm really tired, so I know there are certain things that I need to tell you guys that we'll get to as these days progress.
Yep.
Which
But
they never do.
in all honesty, if it doesn't stand out to me now,
Today?
it probably wasn't relevant.
What about that 9 o'clock thing you were telling me on Monday?
Oh, that he told me? Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. This is going to be a long
We're going to
night.
get there to Monday. We're getting there. So Sunday night, or Sunday during the day, you had your own personal stuff going on with your family.
So even after the murders, she was phone calling Chris quite a bit.
You never see him on Sunday, is that it? accurate?
No, I didn't see him. What did I do
The
the
blue
rest
ones
of the
are
day? I
to
came
Chris.
home. I think I might have just chilled at my house. I don't remember. I think I cleaned my house. I don't know. I didn't see him, though.
Okay. And,
Yeah, Saturday was the last time I saw him.
okay. Sunday, you're at home. You talk to him we know you have a conversation in the late evening hours, and then you go to sleep
Crap.
on Sunday night. When's the next time you talk with Chris?
Probably Monday morning.
Do you know what?
Which her phone did ping in Frederickson, Colorado, where she doesn't live, where the Watts lived. Where is proof of her solid alibi? Yeah, exactly. She had no alibi. Exactly. Look at this. Exactly. She has no alibi. 2 hours, or at 2 a.m. 4 hours later, Nicole's phone pings at 6 a.m. Why? Doesn't make sense. Text to CBI agent. Sounds good. I want to meet them too. I have a lot to discuss, but I typed it up and organized it, so hopefully it may go faster. Sounds good. Let me know when you are. Get here. Thank you so much for helping me with everything. Your team's willingness to keep things quiet for me. Wow. Well, guess what? They're not quiet there, ma'am. Some people think that she was sleeping with some agents, which it's not proven, but in the timeline of the relationship she wrote out for law enforcement, I noticed there's nothing about Sunday. Why? Did she not want to... Whoop, go back. Did she not put on record that she was at the museum? Why? Is it because it was a lie? Check the museum cameras. See if she was there that day. Man, they break it down. Oh, man. So I'm just telling you, I can't believe that there are still people out there that are like, yep, 100% Nicole's innocent. I mean, still to this day, we don't know what's on that 111-minute phone call. It's just a whole bunch of random stuff that we talked about. It's just, I don't really remember. I'm super tired. Can I get back to you? Yeah, no problem. You can get back to us. Never happens. The level of like trickery and like that's why people think I don't necessarily believe 100% that this is what happens, but they think that she had some type of witchcraft spells or whatever, which I doubt. That she was manipulating them to not talk about it. I think it's just she knows how to manipulate men, because I don't see any females investigating her. Where's that female investigator that was on Chris? Bring her in. She did fantastic. Bring her in to take care of Nicole, because the guys that were in there were just joking with her, and they're probably attracted to her because she has brown hair and eyes and whatever have you. Because us guys, not saying myself, we think with the wrong head, okay? That's what Chris did. That's what these investigators did. I don't barely see any women in here talking to her in these investigations. She brought her dad in. And there are people that are like, Team Chris Watts. Let's get Chris Watts free. Nicole Kessinger is free. I don't know how the hell you think this is okay. I have literally seen the people's pages that are on Facebook, Twitter, that are supporting, that want to marry Chris. I mean, everybody has their opinions. They have their freedom of speech and stuff like that, and their desires and stuff. But when it is completely 100% apparent that he murdered his family, Nicole helped as well, and there are some people, I mean, for the thousands of people that believe that Shanann were murdered by Chris and Nicole, there's that one or two that want to defend Nicole and Chris. I have no idea why. It just doesn't make any sense to me. If we could somehow figure out that 111-minute phone call, but we've still not, they didn't even return to ask her what happened on Sunday. What did you talk about on Sunday? I don't care if you're tired. Where's these guys that just like hardcore get into these dialogues with the possible murder suspects. Get in on that. That's why I'm so floored that they haven't done this. If any CBI agent or FBI agent or police officer that is watching this, am I wrong? Should we not be looking at her? Yes, we got Chris. Fantastic. He's in prison. But why did we stop there? Again, there is so much evidence that Nicole was deleting messages and emails and telling her friends to delete theirs. She told Chris to delete everything. She wants her name to not be slandered. She brings her dad into the investigation. She can't recall a 111-minute phone call. Her lies are not adding up. The dialogue that she's mentioned here in this interview is not matching this interview, is not matching this interview, which she had 3 interviews, and yet she's still not in trouble at all. Again, like I've talked before, deleting messages and in a murder investigation can lead up to 10 to 15 years and $10,000 in fines. And yet she has gone free. No fingerprints were done. They didn't take this case to trial. They didn't look for fibers. Like that truck one I just told you guys about not too long ago. They did swab the whole truck with fiber rollers, sent it to go get tested. The people at that lab sent it back for non-testing. Why? Why didn't you put the hairs in the little thing to find the DNA of those hairs? Because they're like, oh, it's probably Shanann's, it's probably the girls, it probably is Nicole's. Because Nicole's phone pinged that morning in Frederickson, Colorado. She didn't show up to work on time. She clocked out later. Does this not make sense? And people think I'm just blowing smoke. That I need to get over this. One, my hobbies are Funko Pops and nerd stuff, but at the same time, I love watching the first 48. I love watching murder mysteries. I love watching cases that don't make sense. There's a case of an officer that was married to a female. You guys probably know who this is. And they were getting ready to separate. The female was doing some hanky-panky with somebody else, or talking to somebody else. The police officer was doing some hanky-panky as well, but he caught wind that she had a red notebook filled with all the stuff that he was doing. He found it and snapped. So apparently this girl was in the closet. Somehow the gun went off. She was trying to off herself, which later to find out later on, there was no physical way that she could have done it. Thankfully, this woman survived, but they believe that this police officer tried to make it look like an accident or a self-deletion because he wanted the kids. He didn't want to pay child support. And also, I went through a divorce. I didn't want to, but unfortunately, my divorce ended in adultery on her side. I'm not going to be dealing with that. But with my divorce, am I going to sit there and annihilate my ex-wife and annihilate my beautiful son? Hell no. Did I go to court? Did I fight to not pay child support? Dang straight I did. I spent 20 grand to make sure I had everything I wanted, which is my son, 50% of the, or 56% of the time. She has him for 50 or 44. I have more holidays, but week on, week off. Am I paying child support? No. I'm paying for half. She's paying for half. Why would these guys be scared to do that? I mean, honestly, I thought I was going to pay child support. I thought I was going to get my son taken away from me. But I worked my butt off. I worked my tail end off just to make sure that my son would. If these fathers, there's some mothers that get a great lawyer. Don't get me wrong. I found a great lawyer. But it just irks me that that was the route they took. Instead of going the route of court, divorce lawyers and stuff like that, which thousands and millions of people do, they decided to try to kill their wives. They try to murder them. Some of them are successful, some of them are not, but that's the route they took. And I still to this day do not think that Chris took his daughters out. Nicole was the one that did it because he couldn't, because he actually loved his daughters, but he fell out of love for Shanann. I still can't get more and more of this case. We're finding new things and so forth, little bits here and there. So please do understand that we're not going to find a good amount of evidence right away, but I still think we need to investigate all the lint fibers, because I guarantee they're in a box somewhere. They're being held and stored. We need to get those and open them up and investigate. I don't know how hard it is to open up this case. Reopen it and start investigating. I've seen cases open up 30, 40, 50 years later and they catch the guy finally. But he's an old man, they're old women, or they find out that the actual murderer is deceased. So comment your guys' thoughts down below. What is on that 111-minute phone call? Do you believe the woman before? Do you believe that she was working at Anadarko? Do you think that's all true? Let me know. Keep it positive. Don't be arguing with other people. Just be positive. Hit the like button just to get justice for these the Shanann girls and baby Nico. And we'll see you guys in the next video. So please take care. Keep it safe. And as always, keep nerding on. And we'll see you guys next time.